Welcome to Candy Wrapper 13, a program with backbone, and we're going to get into that a little bit in a little while here. This guy out there criticized me because I said this gives us the right to freedom of speech, and I didn't point at the flag, I pointed at his ficus. We'll get into him too here in a little bit. So anyway, welcome back. Got plenty to talk about today. I'm going to get a little sidetracked on here from what I wanted to do, but that's the way it's going to be. Let's start out with what's happening in Baltimore. What's happening to my country, our country. Man, give me a break. People feel they have the right to wreck and destroy other people's property because of what? Somebody gave them a crutch to do it, and that's what they're doing. They're just jumping on it. Last night when I watched TV and I saw them destroying all those vehicles and stores, you know, this country is in bad shape, people. And the people in Willmar here think that it's not a big deal. Well, we've got issues here. We have a lot of issues here. And we're going to get on that today because this is torquing me again. It's a shame what's happening to our country. Here's an editorial in the paper from the West Central Spittoon, and I'm going to keep calling it that because they won't let it die either, as my little buddy, Malignant Moron, on Facebook. Now this guy and the Tribune, they just keep sparking that flame that's just about out. People, why can't you get over it? And you talk about constituents wanting answers. I'm a constituent. I don't need an answer. I voted those people in to council, especially the two from my ward. I say I support the whole council. Yeah, pretty much. Those two, I told you who they were before. I don't know if I can really support them, especially one of them now. But people, let it die. Again, I didn't vote for Obama, and I'm not dwelling on it. You people, you keep talking like you're speaking for me. You don't speak for me. Knock it off. But here's the West Central Spittoon. The problem in Willmar is we have lost sight of our vision and our dreams of what this city can and should be. Again, somebody writing that is not from Willmar. I'm from Willmar. Don't tell me how Willmar should be or what it can be. I've seen what it used to be, and it has not moved forward in all since they choked off the uptown with their bypass. People, get a grip on what's reality here. Certain ones out there, and I say, and it's a few, that are sparking this deal, trying to do this, and this recall. Now, Ron Christensen is a long lifetime friend of mine. Do I agree with him? No. But do we stay friends? Yes. People, you know what they say about opinions, they're like, everybody's got one. Get over it. My God, people. But Ron, you want to bash him? Go ahead and bash him. That just shows your ignorance. Again, he was voted in Mayor Pro Tem. He's trying to follow rules, but you don't like him to follow the rules. Well, too bad. Ron said at the last meeting, we're digging this thing deeper and deeper. Oh yeah, well, the Tribune likes that. That's true. We aren't. You out there, you few, are doing it. You don't want to address the other issues in town. And I was told by a very smart person one time, a liberal attacks the person and not the issue. And that's what's going on here. They want to attack people and not the issues. Just like this malignant moron that writes on Facebook in town here. He likes to attack me. He never talks about my issues. He likes to attack me. He puts my candy wrapper on his Facebook page, and he, last week, or the one before, he had it on real fast, so I sound like a chipmunk. Oh, he's such a funny guy. I haven't personally met him yet, but I can't wait. And I'm going to say, this is a promise. Don't you invade my space. And people say I threatened him. No, I'm just saying. Enough of this hiding behind screen stuff and being a bully and whatever. And if there are people out there in Willmar area that are being bullied in any way, shape, or form on Facebook, through the social media, I want to know about it. I'm going to bring it out. This program does have some benefits, people. But I'm getting tired of this West Central Spittoon and this moron fueling the fire for these few because they have the right to do it, but they have the power in the paper. Of course, this other moron that writes on Facebook, he put that deal on. Now he had my candy wrapper. He segmented it down so it's like 8 minutes or something, and he had beginning real slow. Good one, moron. And he had like 100 and some likes. Well, everybody likes a little comedy. But there was only 6 comments. And guess who the comments were? They were all his comments. But people believe this stuff, and they, this guy, just like the Tribune, they just like to keep stirring it up. But again, Ron was voted in as mayor pro tem. You have a problem with that? Too bad. I don't. Not just because Ron's my friend. I voted for the council. The council did what they had to do. End of story. Let's move on. You want to get this stuff. What's going on in Willmar up here? One of my shows, the last 2, I mentioned about this guy uptown that broke the glass in the door, went after somebody with a shard of glass. Boy, you don't hear nothing about that from you people uptown here in beautiful old downtown Willmar. 6 years ago, over 6 years ago, when I ran for council, I went to a League of Women Voters forum. It was again Steve Gardner and myself. I don't know if Tim Johnson was there at the time. I don't remember. That's not relevant. But they asked me, what would you do to beautify downtown Willmar? I said, I wouldn't spend a nickel on it. It's a dead zone. People, I grew up here. I've seen it. It is what it is. But you never hear nothing about what's going on. Oh, no, there's a little bit of vandalism up here. Well, why is that? Why is that? For you people that keep talking and pushing downtown Willmar. Hey, I'm all for it if you can do it on your dime. But there's another problem. We don't have people doing it on their own dime. There's a gal down here, I mentioned it before. Right here. She got $37,000 from Willmar, city of Willmar, for this year. $37,000. Got a grant for $21,697. Plus, she wants to have a fundraiser. Again, she doesn't want to spend any money out of her pocket to do this. And this malignant moron, who happens to be your son, keeps talking his stuff. I want to read you something. Here's what he wrote on his Facebook page. Back boneless Bob Store is absolutely terrified to repost any of his previous candy wrapper episodes for you people. God knows everybody wants to see him. Well, let me tell you something. No, not everybody wants to see him. You're the only one that's requested them. And through your ignorance and you bashing me and calling me names all the time, it's never going to happen. So you people out there, you can thank this moron. I was going to run them, a couple of them, when we took that week off. But because of this guy, he thinks he's going to bully me into doing it and wants to call me names and say I'm absolutely terrified. Buddy, you don't scare me. Give me a break. Bring it. That's not a threat. That's a promise. You want to talk smart on the screen? Talk smart to my face. But you want to know why Willmar has issues? It's because of people like him, the West Central Tribune, and these few out there that just keep fueling the fire. I wasn't even going to talk on this again today till I saw these editorials and stuff in the paper, and then this was brought to my attention. Pretty sad. Pretty sad we got clowns like that. Oh, by the way, I hear you're going to be, this malignant moron who writes on Facebook, I hear you're going to be the official Willmar downtown water boy. That's a good title. And I asked you once before, show me your resume of what you've done in life. You're banging all these people saying, nobody's done as much as your mother. Show me what you've done for this town. Boom, end of story. And you can put boom down again like you like to comment on everything I say. Another thing, I have a little clarification that this clown on Facebook wrote. He said, let me see if I can find it here. Well, anyway, he said that he saw Steve Almond at the bar in Spicer. Well, I talked to Steve. Steve says, yeah, I was there. Oh, here he says, speaking of missing council members, Almond felt good enough to put back a few at O'Neill's last weekend, but couldn't make it to Monday meeting. Looked like he was feeling just fine to me. This guy, again, I talked to Steve. Hey, man. This is Steve, were you drinking? Yeah. Coke. Pop. You moron. spreading this stuff. And then you try to say, I slander your mom. No, listen, I don't slander anything. Here's the facts on your mom stuff, public information. Yeah, you say you like to dig, I like to dig. You bring it up, you can't stand the heat, you delete, you block your supposed friends. The only friends you got is a blow-up doll. Get over it. So, let's go one step farther here. Excuse me. This guy, I requested some of the emails to Rack 8. I had to pay for them, get them. Here's what this malignant moron wrote to Rack 8 here. I won't say his name. I don't want to give him any more fame than he's gotten already. How can I get the links to the other two Candy Wrapper episodes, 1 and 2? I'm Bob's biggest fan and would hate to miss anything. He writes on there, get off my porch, get off my porch, get off my porch. Yeah, he psycho. So, comes back, after he wrote that, and it was noted to him, it said, reply, we don't have the first 2 programs anymore. When a new show comes out, it replaces the old one. And people, that's how it works. I have the original DVD copies, and then that's what he was told, and it says you can contact him above at the email provided. Now, that's been more than once, and guess what? I have no backbone. Well, this big talker has never got a hold of me. You want some real bad? Yeah, I wouldn't give them to you anyway. Not now. Hey, that's your problem, not mine. But people, again, he writes all this stuff. He was told, contact me. That never happened. These were dated February, March, a couple months ago. So that's just kind of the way Willmar works. We have a few out there that just love to stir things up and can't let it go and can't accept their counsel for who they are. Then they're knocking Rick Fagerly for getting those phone records. I don't know how he got them, but way to go, Rick. You brought out some other stuff. Why is it certain people in this town can say things and suggest things, but when it comes back to them, it's always a different story? I've said that how many times, especially about Audrey. She has a one-way thought process, and that's it. It's about her and her people that are behind her. She shouldn't even be on the council. I don't care. You want to recall somebody, recall her. But get off of this Ron business. Man, you don't like him too because he got in as mayor pro tem. Well, that's too bad. Now you're banging Calvin. Well, probably got what you voted for. Too bad. The other thing is, when I ran on my own dime. I didn't ask anybody for contributions of any way, any kind, whatever. I didn't have to answer to anybody but me. He's in between a rock and a hard spot because he's trying to satisfy everybody out there, especially the ones that backed his campaign. And now you're banging the guy. But it's a few that are banging him. Gotta remember, Kelvin had I don't know how many thousands of votes, and only a few speak up. But this minority that's speaking up, it's about time to put the lid on that garbage can. So a little Facebook moron, you can burn this one up as much as you like. I'm giving you plenty of info, but like I say, you can only push a dog in the corner so far, and be careful. Now again, it's not a threat. It is a promise. I am old school. I told you before. When I grew up and you acted like that, you get your butt beat right on the street, drug in the alley, behind the woodshed. You people think you're so protected nowadays. First thing you do is you mouse somebody off, get in their face, and they pop you one, and you go running, assault, assault. You had it coming. Maybe we need to go back to old school tactics here. Just like these people in Baltimore think they're going to get away with it. That mayor is just unbelievably mad. She's going to get every picture from Facebook, whatever. She wants to prosecute everyone. Good deal. It's about time. You wonder sometimes why I talk about Willmar the way I do. Well, this is because people don't want to move forward here. Only certain ones want to move forward. So, on that, let's move forward. It's already 18 minutes burned up. Boom. The avian flu says won't have negative effect on poultry supply or cost. Then, my next one here says avian influenza kills 3 million birds, cost rises. Well, that's kind of asphyxiation used to kill condemned poultry. People, I don't know if you know how that works. Usually what they do is they use a foam similar to firefighting foam. They suffocate the birds, they put them in a pile, and they let them compost, and then they take them out. Then it says, avian flu, extremely low risk for humans. But I heard on the news, they were treating X amount of employees that come in close contact with them. Well, something still isn't right here. This is worse and nastier than we're getting the info on. So people, again, be careful. Boom, I'm not eating any poultry products. Maybe my moron buddy has. That's why he's like he is. I don't know. Keeping Willmar's lights on comes at a hefty cost. Well, give me a break. Do we not know that? Our rates just went up again. And in the last, 6 years now, it's gone up. What was it before? 36%? Whatever. Unbelievable, you know? Then they keep giving this guy, West Hump, 2 raises a year. For what? Then he wants his $8.5 million. You know, they're pushing that deal. Boom, everybody wants to spend money and be a big shot in Willmar. They don't want to address the issues that we have here. Everything else gets thrown under the carpet and forgotten about. But certain things can't be forgotten about, can they? Again, Willmar Forward Group said they disbanded. Yeah, right. Records. Counterfeit $100 bills circulating in the Montevideo area. They said they were poor quality. Well, then how did they even get through? But people, be aware. Somebody gives you a $100 bill for something, you better make sure it's good. Look at it close. Records, I'm going to hit that a little bit. Man stabs girlfriend. We got some theft here. 500 block of 19th Avenue Southeast. Multiple vehicles damaged. Again. Sexual assault. 2 Dassel men. Why is this area? Why do we have so much of that stuff? Well, you don't hear anything about that guy from Willmar that molested those kids. Oh, shush, because he used to be a cop? What's going on? People, dig that up. Pound that one into the ground like you do this city council stuff. For them doing their job, okay. Another thing. Moron. Facebook man. You asked Charlene to remove that gag order. And you asked Charlene to make a statement on what happened. Why is she keeping her chops closed? Your mom's a big supporter of hers. Maybe she should do it. People, go to the source, find out. But remember, there's a gag order on. End of story. New London man, again, sexual conduct, argues against his sentence. Well, boom, nail him. Willmar Labor Committee hears salary grievance. Now that one smokes me too. If you can't go outside, these guys are making over $100,000 with their perks and their job. And when somebody quits and they got to fill in a position, you got to have that extra salary. You can't go outside to scope your job, and you don't appreciate having $100,000+ a year job in Willmar when there are people out there struggling, and you're going to whine about, oh geez, I worked really hard extra. How often, every day, do you work really hard? Tell me, after 30 years or something being on the job. Give me a break. You people don't know what work is anymore. Steve Rehnquist is going to retire. See you, Steve. Well, people, it just keeps going. We got another letter here. City Council should be more open. The spur track deal. I still don't get it. Somebody explain to me, excuse me, why we need a spur track. They're taking out so many tracks. Nothing's shipped by rail hardly anymore. I don't get it. It's just that ploy had to come in right at that. I know. Somebody had a great idea and they just want it paid for by the taxpayers. But whatever. Distracted driving campaign. That's dozens of tickets. Well, that's a good one. I wish they'd do it all the time. Randomly. When I grew up, they used to have random stops on 1st Street, Litchfield Avenue. There'd probably be 5 highway patrol there. They'd pull over 15 cars. They'd check you for headlight aiming adjustments. They'd check you for parking brakes. They'd check everything, make sure everything worked, da-da-da. They don't do that anymore because we have the demographics. We can't be picking on anybody and find somebody without a driver's license. Oh God, we can't do that. Only white people that can happen to. Sorry, that's the way it is. But we need to check this distracted driving. You see it way too much all the time. Me, I got my little flip phone. That's good enough for me. I don't like to be hounded anymore. Like I say, I'm old school. Kennedy halls have tables and chairs used for instruction. Now, how long has that been going on? Is that just a ploy for the pitcher? And their little campaign on the school deal. Here again, Willmar Public School, overcrowding, elementary. When I went to school, senior high, our class was 342 kids. We had to have, at least back then in 1968 to 70, the same amount of kids that are going now. We never had a problem because we didn't have the demographics. We didn't have to spend all this time to teach kids English. We didn't have to, again, how many kids, no kids left behind? They passed just about every, I've never heard of a kid failing anymore. I've never heard of a kid being held back. I saw it plenty of times when I went to school. Why can't we do that anymore? It's the demographics that's costing us money. I think it's time that the Willmar poultry producers or the area poultry producers that are in this school district start coughing up some money to educate their people they're bringing in here. The cost should not be handed down to me, the taxpayer, for what? This is not right. And this field house, just about $8 million. What a joke. Give me a break. And $53 million. And deferred, people, $9 million of deferred maintenance. Again, who's not doing your job? But you want to bang the city council. Let's bang these people that are behind us, not doing what they're supposed to be doing. And you people banging the city council are probably pushing this Willmar school deal. Boy, that's really a good deal. Let's get down to nitty gritty on what's happening here, and let's get this squared away. But no, we can't do that. Can't do that. You want to be transparent? You want people to be held accountable? Let's go for it. New roof. Roof's leaking. Give me a break. Who's not taking care of that? When my roof leaks, I take care of it. But again, people, here we go. Candy wrapper at charter.net. I appreciate, again, the comments. Been very few negatives, but hey, you have the right to speak up. That's fine. But like I say, if you're going to speak up like this, malignant moron on Facebook, please get your facts straight. Don't be banging people without your facts straight. We'll see what this guy writes about me in the next week here. I've got some other stuff I want to bring out about him, what he said, and what he's done. I want to show you a little bit about his background. But until I get that resume from him on how productive he's been in society, my opinion is never going to change. But, well, I don't know. Where do we go from here? Before I leave, I want to say a lot of the people we're getting into Willmar are being brought in by Lutheran Social Services. And I don't know how you pronounce her name, Mari Torkelson from the Bethel Lutheran Church is on the board of directors. Past minister over here. I don't know why it's passed. I don't know what she did or whatever. Move on. She makes really good money being on the board of directors, and she's one behind bringing all these people in. You want people to be held accountable? Get to the source. We'll talk more about that on the next program. But I'll be called racist, but that's fine. I'm a proud American. I don't like what's happening in Baltimore. I don't like what's happening in Willmar. I don't like the people bashing our city council because they feel they're on the losing end. The council did what they had to do. Again, get this guy on Facebook to get an answer from Charlene. Have her lift the gag order. People, you'll find out. And I want to know why those other two were on the phone. Boy, you people drop that in a heartbeat. Hey, the phone has a recording number deal, all that information. It's public. Be careful what you say. Be careful what you write. It'll come back to haunt you, which it's doing right now. But instead, you're banging the other five again. God, you people, get over it. So, gotta go. Candy Wrapper 14. See you next time. Bye.